Last week I recorded a brief video about the narrative clip, the little kind of life vlogging camera I picked up. And when I was reviewing that video back, I noticed that I had quite a long, harsh shadow cast underneath my nose. And it's kind of really annoying because when it was at that stage, everything had been finished and I was kind of stuck with it. And the reason for that is the lighting in this room. I've got some really bright, really nice for working LED lights up ahead. And they're great for kind of casting a lot of light, illuminating what you're doing, but they do cast some horrible shadows. And I've been kind of looking for, came up with an idea for try and deal with that. You can see that I can see on the monitor there's still a bit of a shadow, but it's not as bad. And so what I've done is set up a softbox light behind the camera. And this is a really kind of quick and cheap kind of hacked up kind of setup I've got. I previously had a basic camera light, which I did a video on, and that's quite a crude modification, but I changed it to run on a mains adapter. And so I've got that on a tripod. I've now added a softbox, which I picked up on Amazon for less than 15 quid. And that is allowing me to cast this much kind of nicer light coming ahead, which is diffusing some of the shadows that are going on. I'm just going to flip the camera now and just point out kind of how I've kind of joined the two bits together. Just kind of taking these two kind of relatively cheap items and making something relatively decent out of it. So this is the softbox. It's a bit hard to kind of get onto the shot because the light kind of washes out. So it's down at a very kind of low kind of light output at the moment, but it's because the way the kind of camera kind of adjusts to compensate, it's quite hard to tell. But it's basically one of these things which you may have kind of seen in kind of a lighting studio or somewhere. It's really kind of straightforward. It's just almost like an umbrella, just with a front panel to it, a square umbrella. And if I remove this front cover, and inside it's just a reflector, the light goes in, bounces off and back out. Really straightforward. And so this is the kind of basic little camera light module in here. So the light attached to the this kind of basic lighting tripod, again a really cheap Amazon item, I think again probably about £10, £10–15, and it just has a single kind of standard quarter threaded point on the end, and that just fitted onto the camera light, just twisted down. And the softbox has got this metal kind of umbrella shaft thing. I'm not sure what it's meant to attach to. There is a bit of a fixing on the other side, so maybe you can kind of attach to that. And just in here there's this zipped opening, so you kind of run your equipment up through and it somehow attaches to it. I've never kind of worked or looked at any of the real one of these before, so I don't know what it's meant to do. But for my purposes, I will pop this out. So the light came with this little angled bracket which fitted on the bottom here, and that kind of twisted onto the shafts. And this bracket was just screwed into the base of the plastic, just quite in a really kind of simple way. And so what I've done is print this little plastic block. I've put in some longer screws, longer bolts, and they run through the original bracket into the original holes, just passing the centre block. And this block now has a hole in the middle, which you can just about see there. And that is big enough for the shaft of the umbrella, the softbox, to pass through. It couldn't be any simpler than that, and it produces a really nice, soft light output, which will hopefully stop casting some nasty shadows underneath my nose.